All right, let's see if this thing works, man. L Boogie Reacts in the building. Make sure y'all hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. We're gonna see if we can get some people reeled in here, man. All right. Look, man. I'm not here to bash nobody. We're just here to react, okay? There is so much smoke taking place on YouTube. You really just kind of gotta pick your topic. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can just pick your topic at this point. There's typically so many things that you could just talk about when it comes to beef on YouTube. I think that's like the culture at this point. I think that's like really YouTube culture at this point. Like, you could beef on YouTube and profit. There's a big frenzy going on. Like, you got some of your heaviest hitters on YouTube beefing amongst each other, and we're gonna talk about it today. I'm gonna talk about it today, all right? Just because that's just, at this point, it makes a lot of sense for me to just react to the things that I'm witnessing. There's a lot of other things we could be talking about too, especially when it comes to Mr. E files, okay, and the PDF files, okay. But we're gonna talk about YouTube beef, okay. Last time we was talking about Mr. E files. Seemed like we couldn't get no traction. I'm gonna have to find a way to crack the algorithm on that one. Not right now, okay. I don't think that subject's going anywhere. I think it'll be here for as long as it needs to be here, okay? I definitely think that it'll be here for as long as it needs to be here. Okay. I think I need this. Let's see. Oh no, that's the wrong one. That is the wrong one. Let's see here, man. Shout out to y'all, man. Shout out to all the supporters, all the people that's been continuing to support your boy L Boogie Reacts, Mr. LBR himself. I made a little, a little intro. Where's my LBR intro at? Where is it at, man? Where is it at? Where is it at? What did I do with my LBR intro? All right, there we go. I think this is it. Okay, let's see.
Copacetic, cool, calm, and collected. And I don't do detectives, I'm overprotected.
All right. There we go. Mr. Intro himself, Mr. LBR. Y'all can also subscribe to LBR 2.0 as well. All right, let's get into this topic, man. So this one right here, this is the PDF allegations against Corey Holcomb. All right, this is a Young Don Reacts video. It seemed like every other week a man is getting exposed, some kind of black man being exposed. I know that we heard Mr. What's his name? Mr. Charlemagne. Now knowing that some names were mentioned on a hotline, he's saying that we just want to bring our people down. We've been doing that. Black people been bringing each other down, man. That's by design. We're not gonna act like there's not groups of people out here designed to bring each other down. Like they're behind the scenes paying people to bring people down. That's not nothing new, man. Come on, man. And Charlemagne knows that very well, okay? He's even made his attempts to bring certain people down. I've witnessed it. I'm not going to say that Jay-Z or Pusha T or Eminem are in the files. I did see one face in the files, okay? It was neither one of them. But I did see a guy that we know as Smokey in the files, hanging with Bill Clinton, hanging with Mr. E Files, You know, hanging with Mr. McJagger, the moves like McJagger. You can go look it up yourself, right? There's so many different people in the fouls. And Charlemagne said that, you know, anyone that was in the fouls should be exiled. There's a whole bunch of people in the fouls, though. I think that we can't see their faces. And there might not be mentions of certain things, but there were certain pictures that they put on display for a reason. I seen a Mr. Smokey in the fouls, and that kind of threw me for a loop. But once again, when you're in that group, that's just how it goes, man. I think that that group has explained and it justifies exactly what we've been wondering, been thinking about for so many years, about how people get down and how, you know, certain deals get cut and who bigs up each other and all of that. So that's not hard to understand or even, you know, to bring to the forefront. But anyway, let's watch this video. Some people like to say that they've not seen a video and reacted to it in completion. I think I seen some of the clips. So we're just going to watch him react to it. That way we can provide the particular clips. Okay. So let's keep going. It's so much controversy though, man. I think that eventually we'll all be you know, even more divided than we already are when it comes to our communities, you know. But I think that that's always been the goal. Okay. As we can see, there are people being protected that are in groups. But when it comes to our group, there's no protection, all right? Everybody's getting it. That's for damn sure. Let's go.
Piece of tape for
all right, fair use.
Future references. I'm telling you now, when they go at, please keep this piece of tape for future references. I'm telling you now, when they go after me, they get dirt like a I'm here to tell you, they go through my computer, they gonna be like, Corey, like, what else can I put out there?
Or like what?
All right, now look, I don't. All right, that's just how he starts his videos. Mr. YDR, Mr. Young Don Reacts. Shout out to Young Don Reacts. I've been watching him a lot lately. Yeah, shit. I don't know if that was a joke. It was a bad joke, and I'm not familiar with all of Corey's content. I'm just not. It has nothing to do with who he is. But as y'all can see, like, it don't take long for us to get to know anybody on the internet nowadays. It could be, you know, like that, okay? And it's interesting because right after Corey Holcomb had this incident with Anton Daniels, all these things start to flare up, okay? And now people are challenging his character. They're challenging his ways. We're seeing him lash out at an all-time high on his channel. There are some things, there are some very questionable behavior, you know, tactics that he's been using. And now people are seeing him for who he really is. The one thing I will acknowledge, because I did hear him put out one joke before we get started. And it was about him going to see his kid's mom. You know, it was a joke once again. He's a comedian. But he did make a joke about how, you know, when he goes to his kid's mom's house, he sees his son do a little dance, which I don't even think he has a son. I don't know. But he sees him do a little dance, and then he go in there, he knock it down, and then he out. He say, hey, go do that little dance again. And after he do the dance, then he gone. Okay, so let's keep going, man.
Check my browser, goddamn. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. That woman is like at a point in her life where she is
Ripe, bro.
It's just nobody likes to say shit like,
no, they not at all. They not physically, They not biologically for bearing children. They not mentally. Like, literally, you into kids, bro. It ain't no other way to put it. You like kids, man. So let's go ahead.
I will say, like, this kid shit is just, it's overwhelming to hear people talk about this shit. I think that, yes, if you're out here promoting child sexual activity, then you should for sure be held responsible for that shit. If you're that type of man or woman, all right? It's not exempt anyone from these type of activities. If you're that type of person, then yes, you should be held accountable. Now, once again, these are all allegations, so there will be a lot of alleged content being played when it comes to this subject, because that would be defamation of character, all right? And we don't want to defame anyone. We just want to react, all right? Let's keep going.
And talk about this controversy that is brewing online concerning comedian Corey Holcomb. Bro is on that PDF timing, bro. Bro is on that pedo timing, and bro just completely told on himself. Like, all of the evidence that we're about to bring forward is just this nigga just talking. You know, Corey has been engrossed in a number of controversies and beefs lately. First, he got into an online beef with Anton Daniels.
Say I suck a dick again. I'm right here, right now. All right, that's what I'm saying. I'm gonna respect you. Dance around it. Dance around it.
Then he went viral for having some kind of physical altercation with a female comedian. And then him and Joe Budden started having their back and forth. Well, it would seem as if he has hit enough bees.
We're gonna touch on that subject as well. Pause. With him and Joe Budden, they said that Joe Budden ethered Corey Holcomb. I think everyone's ethering Corey Holcomb at this moment in time. Okay, Corey Holcomb said he didn't even like mind people using his content or whatever. He's even going at a guy who does content about him, has spent a lot of money with him, from my understanding, allegedly. We're gonna play that video as well if I can locate that one. If I can locate that standpoint. And I'm pretty sure people have, heard this content. If not, then you'll hear it here. And this is my opinion. This is my reaction. Let's keep going.
Nests. He has bothered enough wasp nests that somebody decided to take their time, sit down, and compile as much footage as possible of Corey Holcomb admitting to being a dirty little girl liking nigga, bro. There ain't nowhere else to put it. Like, this nigga fuck with underage girls, bro.
When I was in Iceland, you don't have to be no 18. I think it was 13, maybe 14.
Yeah. Okay, all right. This nigga talking about 13 and 14, though. Wait, we might have to... This nigga really might be on some pedo shit, gang. Hold on. The vagina been on this planet 14 years. I've said this before on the show also. Do you know if a woman 16 years old gives you a baby, that is going to be 16, 17, 18, 19. That is going to be one of the healthiest babies possible. No. Actually, that's false. So I actually found a scientific study here at the National Library of Medicine. And what this study revealed, and this involved women from Brazil, Guatemala, India, the Philippines, and South Africa. And let's see here, they had a total of what appears to be 22,188 mothers in total. And data for maternal age and at least one outcome were available for 19,403 babies. So 87% of the mothers. And this is what they actually found. Check this out. Young maternal age at childbearing, that is women under or equal to the age of 19 years old, is associated with an increased risk of preterm birth and intrauterine growth restriction, infant mortality, and child undernutrition. These associations result from...
What I will say is that I think studies always destroy like the perception of what may really happen. You have a lot of people that are the products of teenage mothers and fathers, okay? As far as him talking about like an older man with a younger woman, then I'm not going to promote nothing like that, okay? I think that what young Don is possibly reacting to right there at that current moment is what he said, some 19-year-olds. So 2 19-year-olds or something of that nature. But no, I don't think that mothers that are young have children that aren't healthy. I think that he's trying to prove that right there, and I think that that's something that doesn't have to be proven, only because I'm like I'm like a product of that environment. You know what I mean? Like my mother had me when she was a teenager. Okay, so that kind of, I hear things like that, and then I know so many children that are products of teenage parents. You know, 2 teenagers. Okay, we're not talking about an older man and a teenage girl. All right, my parents were teenagers when I was born. All right, but other than that, I mean, in a situation like this, I think we're referring to, and I'll let him finish. I'm gonna let him finish, obviously, but I think that he's possibly referring to when an older man possibly has a child with a younger woman. But I've rarely heard younger people having children and they having, like birth defects, etc.
Behavioral, social, and biological factors. Younger mothers might breastfeed for a shorter duration than older mothers and be behaviorally immature and therefore less able to attend to their infants' needs. They tend to have lower socioeconomic status, less schooling, and less stable partnerships than older mothers. If still growing, their nutritional needs compete with those of the fetus. That makes so much fucking sense. So this is actually, we've completely obliterated this idea that Corey is saying that girls between 16 and 19, 20 have the best outcomes in regards to the children. Point is, if you're still growing and maturing, then obviously your biology is going to be competing with the growing baby inside the woman's stomach. I've never even thought about that, but that makes so much sense. But on top of that, we see here, based on the data, that you have a higher chance of giving birth prematurely, giving birth to a preterm baby or a premature baby, and intrauterine growth restrictions, meaning the womb just ain't fully, it's not big enough. Like shit ain't big enough to fully facilitate the baby growing to its maximum size, which is
Don. What I think the current topic is about men having intercourse with younger, underage girls. Okay, I think that was the conversation. You kind of went over into like premature birth and defects of women having kids in teenage years. I would have to respectfully disagree with that. That's just my opinion. Okay, I might be completely wrong about that, but I know a whole lot of women who had children at younger ages, and their kids are just fine. They grow, they develop, and they go on to be just a healthy, normal human being. I think sometimes statistics are manipulated for diverse crowds and different. You get what you catch my drift. Hopefully y'all catch my drift.
Is probably, as somebody who isn't a doctor, that probably has something to do with the fact why there is a higher risk of giving birth prematurely, because the facility just ain't big enough to facilitate a baby growing to its maximum size and its maximum capability. So Corey is completely wrong here.
Well, at that age, they've been on the planet long enough. They're in their prime developmental wise to create a life.
So we now know that's completely false based on the scientific evidence.
Something different.
Science.
Those eggs are buoyant.
See, we're going to get back off of that what we're here for, basically. But see, science can't always be accurate, bro. I appreciate people that like to indulge in science talk, but science has a lot of times not been proven. It's all based on theory, and in order to prove something in science, you have to it has to prove itself, okay? And a lot of times things are just thrown out there based on what people may say, opposed to what really may have taken place.
If you could dribble them eggs, they got bounce back.
So of course he has his co-hosts, and they're co-signing it because they're all yes men. They all got to agree. They can't push back against Corey too much, especially on something like this that is tied to morality, because if they push back against this, they're essentially saying you're a bad person, you're a bad man, you're a filthy, foul man. And Corey does wear the fact that he is a dirty man. That's a part of his bit, but when it comes to fucking with little kids, when it comes to fucking with minors, that's a line that even people who love you know what I'm saying, raunchy stand-up comedy, that's a line that they don't even want to cross a lot of the times. But understand this. So where do men come up with this idea that women in their teens make better mothers biologically, if we see that the data doesn't reflect that? And now that I even think about it, yeah, I do recall hearing stories of girls becoming pregnant as teenagers and giving birth prematurely. Like, you hear about that. That's a pretty common thing to happen with women who get pregnant at a young age. And so if life experience and the scientific data doesn't support this idea, where is it that these like red pill men that want to fucking hound these 17-year-old virgins, where is it that they're getting this idea? Well, the reality is they want to have sex with these young girls. And so they made this shit up and just repeated it to one another to justify it and make it seem like it's normal. I mean, I'm not going to argue that. And then you combine that.
I'm not going to argue that they may draw these type of conclusions in order to have relations with a young girl. Okay. But what I will say is that from what I've seen growing up, that's not always been the case. I think that's like a case by case study. You don't never know what a person has going on in their body as far as a woman. Like, men can't really determine those types of things. Science can't even determine those types of things majority of the time. All right.
With the fact that women have been treated in that manner for thousands of years. And so because it's something that has been done for a long time, and it's something they've all just agreed with each other, even though it's not based on science or data or reality, they think that it's normal, natural, and healthy. But the reality is they want to just prey upon impressionable, easily manipulated, innocent women. That's really all it comes down to.
You go to other countries, I'm just saying, in America, most people only know what they know in America, but I've been to other countries, and in Iceland, I think the legal age to get with a girl is 13 years old. It blows people's mind when they hear it. But in Iceland, I'll tell you, it's not a criminal.
So here's my...
I will say that, like, bringing up the age consent overseas and shit like that, that's annoying. It's agitating, and it's something that if you're an American citizen, you shouldn't even be spewing shit out like that. Like, as an American citizen, we shouldn't be out here spewing anything about different ages of women or girls that you can have intercourse with in another country, bro. Like, if you want to be a citizen of that type of shit, then you should obviously go over there and do that type of shit. In America, I think it's completely frowned upon. And for you to say that, you gotta be completely joking, trying to defend some other weak shit you got going on. But no, please keep that shit somewhere else. All right.
Question: if you go to another country and the legal age of consent is 9, does that mean that that's good? That's okay?
Right.
Just because some 60-year-old white fuck, because that's exactly who it was, wrote on a piece of paper that the age at which you can legally have sex with a girl is 13. How does that make it right? America has its flaws, but this is one area in which America is leading the pack, right? In acknowledging that there is something fucked up about having sex with children, right? It's something fucked up about trying to pursue girls sexually at such a young age, right? This is one area in which America does better at protecting women than a lot of other countries, including Iceland. That's all this is telling me. This is not telling me that, America is fucking up in some way because you can't have sex with 13-year-old girls here in America. Man, this shit was a lot worse than I thought it was going to be. This is some nasty shit, man.
Y'all make sure y'all hitting the like button and subscribing to the channel, man. We got 27 people watching. Let's go. Let's get them likes up, man. Let's get 100 likes.
Out. Like 13, is this nigga trying to say like what 16-year-old pussy is better than like 25-year-old pussy? Like, in what world, nigga? That shit is nasty.
Hey, I am trying to come. I'm trying to come to an understanding of why men would even ever argue that interacting with a younger female is way more like thrilling or exciting than a full-grown woman. Why would you ever even put yourself in a situation like that to say some shit like that, right? The only people that say shit like that are the men who really have an issue with having an adult woman as their partner. That's the only logical thing I could understand about some shit like that. Hey, if that's where you going with it, hey, I'm alleged on that, all right? I got my phone up here so I can see my chat because I'm swap views on the videos, okay? But you said Jay-Z. You said they're sick in the head. They're definitely sick in the head, man. But yeah, Jay-Z does have a wife. That they're putting allegations on that situation with her, saying she was young whenever they started intercoursing and all that, allegedly. Okay. And we definitely got a person like Charlemagne. He's already, like I said that when I started today, like Charlemagne is challenging at this point what has taken place with Jay-Z's name being mentioned. And then everybody wants in on the Pusha T shit because he had the smoke with Drake. And so it's going to keep, spewing over into other situations at this point with those motherfuckers. Let's keep doing it.
In Iceland, I think the legal age to get with a girl is 13 years old. It blows people's mind when they hear it. But in Iceland, I'll tell you, it's not a criminal.
Yeah, it blows people's minds in the way that when you hear about in other countries, they eat like, dogs and cats and rats and those kinds of animals. Like, that blows your mind. But it's not like, oh yeah, that's good. Well, maybe we should try doing that shit over here.
Yeah, in Iceland, I went to Iceland. You just can't offer them money and gifts. And I thought that was so unfair that you couldn't give them nothing after you was done with them. It's still crazy.
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying?
So this is definitely dark humor. As far as if he's saying he really did some shit like that, then hell yeah, by all means, Corey, you a weird motherfucker for that one, bro. Straight up and down, all right?
But this is what his fans like. His fans, these niggas is just like the Fresh and Fit fan base. The Corey Holcomb fan base is not very different than the Fresh and Fit fan base, at least when it comes to talking about women, right? It's all about women are just sexual objects to be used and discarded. This is how Corey talks about women. And this is a part of the reason I don't listen to Corey anymore, man. I haven't listened to Corey for years because, you know what I'm saying? Once upon a time before I really knew what was what in regards to like how we should be treating women and how we should be viewing women as equals and all that. And I found some of this banter, this red pill banter funny. The shit you would hear from guys like Patrice O'Neal and, old school Chris Rock and fucking Corey Holcomb. I would think.
So they're doing it for a specific crowd, right? They're doing it for people that have accepted that they will interact with a younger teen, a younger woman, a younger female. They're doing that for them. That's the only crowd that they're appeasing. That's pretty shallow to say, bro. Damn. He's saying that that's everybody. I don't think that that's everybody. I think that some people just overlook those types of comedic, bits because they think they're just joking. So some people look at it as a joke, but now we're coming to realize that it's not just a joke. Some people truly, get down like that. I think that's just all it is. I don't think that is a lot of truth to it when it comes to a person pushing it out to people to laugh about, and then they don't get no laughs because it's like, bro, that's dark humor. Like, nobody wants to hear that type of comedy. But then you hear people like really getting down like that. You be like, oh, this is everybody that listens to them. I don't think that's the, point. And then I'm not even the guy in that situation because I don't listen. Like I said, I'm not really a big Corey Holcomb fan. All right. He's not on like my Mount Rushmore of comics, I was listening to Cat Williams this morning talk. Shout out to Cat Williams,
I think that shit was funny, but as I matured and came to realize that a lot of that shit is like bigoted nonsense, I just couldn't listen to this nigga anymore. You feel me? And he's still funny when he talks about other shit too, but he talks so much about women like this that I really just can't listen to it because I just think this shit is wrong. I just think he's so wrong where this is concerned.
Iceland. So I assume you've been to Iceland and you took advantage of the laws. Is that what you're saying?
I had a great time in Iceland.
Wait, we're not gonna go there. We're not gonna go there.
I had a great time in Iceland. They asked you.
You said Pusha T didn't have nothing to do with Epstein. I agree. I never said he did. At one point is I think that at one point people were yelling out shit like that. What's up, Miss Sago? How you doing? Shout out to you. Appreciate you pulling up. Shout out to Kenny Mack. Yeah, I don't think that people not excuse me. I'm trying to stop saying people. I really am. What I will say about the allegations with Jay-Z, Pusha T, etc., I think that obviously be some people who just blurt shit out, right? But no, there was no point in case where Jay-Z or Pusha T were mentioned in the Epstein files. Once again, I said I seen another artist that we know as Smokey in the early stages of, the Friday movies. That's what I'll say. When I seen that guy, it threw me for a loop. I ain't even gonna bullshit you. That shit threw me off. All right. You said they're on the Puffy Stein list. That is more believable, okay? Because you have to remember, at that time when people were talking about what was going on with Puff Daddy's parties, we didn't get the videos that were promised, that he promised. But they said he was making a lot of videos. That's the known factor with a guy like P. Diddy. P. Diddy was recording things. We never got those videos, or we only got a few pictures like we saw with the E-Files, okay? So the E-Files are very similar to what we saw with Diddy. You're not going to get all of that, though. The reason why? Because it'll put a lot of business at standstills. They use that to blackmail each other behind the scenes. In front of the scenes, it doesn't really hold as much value because it can destroy corporations. That's why we haven't been able to get but so much as we can see now. People are still wondering where all the files are at. We got the files we got with so many redacted, blocked out, blotted shit, okay? When it comes to Diddy and those types of things, you said if people don't like you, they'll go with anything. Are you questioning me? I'm not understanding. You saying if people don't like you, they will go with anything. Oh, yeah. Okay. I get what you're saying. My bad. Yeah, that too. I think people will blot out shit because of who they don't like. It's kind of been going on that way in entertainment for a while now. I think people get blackmailed all the time. But on top of that, I think it's used as like like some kind of like ammunition, okay? Let's just say a deal's about to be cut and you're one of the top selling artists or you're one of the greatest entertainers. If they got some dirt on you, and I think a lot of people are looking at this Epstein thing completely wrong. Because I watched a very short documentary about how these things work. And I think that it has a lot to do with them having this on. They have information on people to make sure that they can have their hands in their pockets. Let's not forget that. So people looking at it and they're saying, oh, they like to do these types of parties. Who's to say they haven't been threatened to interact with some of these people? When you look at the Epstein files, the one thing I think people are going to take interest into, if you go and look at them, is that he takes pictures everywhere he goes. It's like almost like he was getting a documentary made about him. There's so many different photos of this guy taken with other entities, other corporations, and it just looks away. It looks as if there was some type of setup from the beginning. It doesn't look like he was just throwing parties. No, he's making sure he has documented who he's kicking it with to make sure that they'll never be able to talk. All right.
Few partook in that 13-year-old, 14-year-old box. And he said, I had a great time in Iceland. That's a crazy statement, man. That's a crazy statement. You say you're going to lounge right?
This past weekend, I saw this little girl. She had a Welch's grape juice bottle in her mouth.
Where this nigga going with this
shit?
And
And she was about 5.
What did he say?
Bro, the 13-year-old Iceland girl story was already bad enough. What this nigga about to say about a 5-year-old girl?
What did he say? Hold on. Let me go back. I didn't even hear him.
I had a great time in Iceland. That's a crazy statement, man. That's a crazy statement.
Yeah, it's crazy.
This past weekend, I saw this little girl. She had a Welch's grape.
Hey, yo, let's get the 2,000 subs, man. We need 24 subs. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Juice bottle in her mouth.
Where this nigga going with this shit?
And she was about 5.
What the I don't even know.
Bro, the 13-year-old Iceland girl story was already bad enough. What this nigga about to say about a 5-year-old girl, man?
She had the whole bottle.
Right, blackmail.
As far as it'll go. Just sucking on it. Walking with her mama. Somebody said, get that out of her mouth.
You know, first and foremost, you know that this nigga is like exaggerating. She was probably chewing on the cap. Little kids chew on plastic shit all the time, though. Shit, grown people be chewing on straws. You know what I mean? Like, people chew on shit that's not food all the time. Why is this nigga making it sexual?
When they took it out of her mouth, that baby said,
She was not 5 then. Ain't no 5-year-old crying because you tell them to take a bottle out their mouth. That's bullshit. So that baby was probably closer to like 2. You know what I'm saying? Maybe 1. Not no 5-year-old. My daughter is fucking 3, about to be 4. She is not crying. First of all, she not doing shit like that. But even if we were out in public and she kind of just, you know what I'm saying, off in her little 4-year-old brain world and she's mindlessly chewing on something like a bottle cap or whatever, and I'd be like, hey, baby, take that. Don't do that. She's just going to take it out and not even make a deal out of it. The child that he's describing is not, does not have the mind of a 5-year-old or a 4-year-old. So he's really talking about like a 2-year-old right here, bro. Maybe even a 1-year-old.
You know when she stopped crying?
Brother, like
when a man picked her up and put her in her lap and started bouncing with it. Then she stopped crying and was looking like this. I say, that's a...
That ain't not no 5-year-old.
Nah, that's crazy, Corey. See, that's what I'm talking about. Like, he has some real dark-ass humor. See, that's why I say I haven't kept up with Corey ever. But that's pretty dark, bro. To call a baby a whore. Come on, man. That's low, and that's dark, and that's weird. If you find humor in that, then by all means, man, stay the fuck away from me. All right. Yeah, he crazy, bro. I think he knows how far to go with some of this shit because he knows how the industry get down. Like, motherfuckers always be trying to sound like they don't do the parties and shit like that, bro. It sounds like he's very into that type of shit, man. At 5 and would cry. Yeah, I think that part is understandable, Miss Sago, but like the part about the kid being a hoe, that's weird. Like, even to speculate anything like that at that age, why are you looking at a kid in a sexual manner?
Bro, what the fuck are you talking about? He said that's a hoe. This is a 1-year-old he's describing, bro. Everything that he's saying, like, I got a 1-year-old son. He would be on some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? If he has something he's playing with and doing whatever with, and you take it from him, he'll start crying. That is 1-year-old behavior. I got a 2-year-old. My 2-year-old is not acting like that. I got a 3-year-old about to be 4. She not acting like that. He's describing a 1-year-old baby. He's saying he saw a 1-year-old baby. He called him 5. But we know that Corey Holcomb is a deadbeat father, so he can't even really tell the ages of
We got 60 people watching, man. Let's get at least, I need 2,000 subs, man. Let's get these 23 subs. Let's go.
All children apart like that. He's not around his own children long enough to even know what a 1-year-old, a 2-year-old, a 3-year-old, a 4-year-old, a 5-year-old acts like. And so he's describing right now a 1-year-old baby probably still in diapers, bro, calling the baby a whore because the baby. So now we know why the baby was chewing on the bottle, because it was teething. Now it's all making sense.
Daughter's crawled in the bed and I ain't have on shit.
Yeah.
I was up under the cover. Her jaw is being prepared for hustle. And this was a little girl.
Her teeth aren't.
Baby Goobler.
And then, oh my God, you gotta always have, this chick, whatever her name is to Corey what Ghislaine Maxwell was to Jeffrey Epstein.
God damn.
That's all that needs to be said right there.
Me for real.
Hey, Darlene made a video. We are going to go over it. I do want to break that one down as well. Let's finish this up.
One day I was living with this lady and her daughter's crawled in the bed and I ain't have on shit.
Yeah.
I was up under the cover.
Wow.
And I was like, oh shit. And one of her daughters was like,
rest in peace.
Her daughter was, she was in high school. I think she was 15. Still not legal. You just can't tell your true thoughts.
You can't tell your true thoughts.
We know he's a comedian, George. That's, I mean, hopefully you're hearing me understand and give him that kind of benefit of the doubt. So I can see how he's attempting to do stand-up while he's doing his, you know, doing content. Because I seen him recently on a, what's the guy's name? Dion Cole's. and you could just tell he was doing stand-up, right? He's doing stand-up sitting down on a podcast. So I get that part. But it's like all of his the jokes he's making pertains to children. All right. And he calls himself a dirtbag. So with him calling himself a dirtbag, don't you think some people would overlook some of the horrible things he's saying about being around teenagers and kids and shit like that? I'm not calling him anything, first of all. Let's get that straight. But people are at this point going to examine, just the way that they examined Anton Daniels last week and the week before, they're going to examine Corey Holcomb at this point now, because TMZ got involved. And then so many other content creators got involved. So now everything is on display. That's what's taking place.
Thoughts. You want to get down and dirty with that 15-year-old girl.
Her daughter was going to be thick like her mama. I know that much.
Yeah.
I knew her daughter was a bust down. She got pregnant like a year after I moved out. She was 16. I knew she was going to get pregnant, goddamn, because she used to do shit. She used to do shit to let me know, damn, this is trying to get me in trouble.
Man,
Yeah,
wow.
dark humor.
Her name was Tiffany. Can you get charged if you spoon a child? Like, get behind him, make him take all his clothes off, and you hug him like that.
I'm
Is
pretty
that
sure.
charged?
Yes, Corey, I'm
What is
pretty
that?
sure.
Not no penetration, just
Doesn't have to be penetration. It's a you can't
That's
be
love.
You can. Okay, hold
What
on.
if it's a stepchild?
Okay, I don't know where we're going with this, but
I'm just asking. They got these charges. I'm trying to see what the charge.
Why would it make it any different if it's a stepchild? Sounds like he's trying to add in a degree of separation to make it less incestuous and justify the sexuality of it.
Just go be.
the wedding ring.
Somebody called me Corey Kelly because I said spoon.
Oh, good one.
I would never.
Or Corey Epstein.
Spoon a child. I'm asking.
Oh, this is
what happens if you do?
Man.
This is a very, very recent interaction, him and Darlene, because she yelling out Epstein. Okay. Well, yeah, Corey. People are going to examine this shit. You said he's been doing this for over 20 years now. People are paying attention to his comedy. That's what I just said, George. That's exactly what I just said. I said everybody's going to put on display based on the shit he's been said over the years. That's what people do, man. The internet is one of those things that, you know, if you got some skeptical or some questionable things going on the internet, regardless if it's comedy or not, because if comedy wasn't one of those things that could still be criticized, then we would never talked about a situation like Dave Chappelle when he went overseas to do comedy in Saudi Arabia. That wouldn't have been an issue. People wouldn't have never said anything about that. Okay. There would have never been any criticism about a lot of different comics that get criticized all the time for how they speak. Even when you used to get arrested for being a comic in the very early days of comedy, there would have never been a situation with that. Hey, leave him alone. He's a top caster of content with a superb personality. Oh, man. The Ari Spears and Tiffany had a skit. Yeah, people wouldn't have never found controversy in it if it was just comedy, okay? People are still going to examine the behavior of it. They're not going to just let them do content without examining it. Because sometimes the brain it's not able to, decipher what's real and what's not, okay? I don't know how that saying goes per se, but he said, But he has his own fans. It's like a television station. If you don't like it, change the channel. Yeah, people don't watch him on a daily basis. But now, once again, he's being examined. People are going to get to witness it because of the other people that you may watch. And now they're putting it on their channel for us to examine his behavior. I'm not being critical of the behavior. I'm just giving you a perspective on how people are going to view it. All right. Especially with him talking shit to his co-host and all of that extra stuff. We don't know what's going to happen behind that. People are going to have shit to say, man. All right.
You see, look, if this was a one-off bit and it was a crazy take, as a comedian, a raunchy comedian,
Shout
I think
out
you
to,
could be like,
Coney
that
Island,
was a kind of a
Shout out to Brooklyn. Appreciate that, Mega Mills.
crazy tape, but maybe he was trying, you know what I'm saying, taking risks as a comedian.
Don't
the difference
forget to
between
subscribe.
a bad joke and a great joke is sometimes like very small, right?
Yeah.
In execution. And so if this was like a one-off time, he was trying to be a little raunchy and say something, but it just like came across as more like predatory and weird than funny, then I think you could brush it off and be like, I don't know what bro was really on right there, but all right, whatever. But the fact that he has so many different clips over such a large period of time in different contexts, just to find it in different little...
I think it's cool now for people to just, you know, talk about this PDF file type of shit. I think it has become one of the greatest topics on YouTube, right? And when I say great, I don't mean in a sense of it's all fun or awesome. I think that people have found a way to capitalize off of it monetarily. And so now they go around looking for people that talk in a sense of sexual intercourse with that type of crowd, with that age group. I don't think it has anything to do with, oh, this isn't nothing new. Once people get a whiff of what type of shit you got going on in your life, bro, they're going to latch on to it and they're going to talk about it. And what better time than the time of the E-Files, okay? The E-Files is making all of this type of content more and more relevant to put on display for us all to witness. It has everything to do with what's currently taking place with the E-Files, all right?
Ways. Nah, man, this is nasty.
All right, let's get 22
It's called research.
subs. We need them
Please
22
keep this
subs.
piece of tape for future references. I'm telling you now, when they go after me, they get dirt like a
And he just said it right there. Let's play that back. Like, let's go back in the clip. He just said, whenever they go at me, they gonna have dirt like a motherfucker. Okay, so he just basically, he already dug his own grave. Now he just gonna jump in it. And I think even witnessing what happened last Tuesday or Wednesday, whenever his show comes on, Tuesday, I assume you said, he was already on one, but he sounded like he was hurt. He sounded as if he didn't want to go through the challenges that he's currently going through with social media and these newscast media, platforms. But listen, hear it again. He just said it.
for future references. I'm telling you now, when they go after me, they get dirt like a I'm here to tell you, if they go through my computer, they're going to be like, Corey, like, what else can I put out
Or
there?
like, what?
Come on, bro.
They blocked it out. I don't even know what he said.
I mean, I'm a big in the child. Check my browser, goddamn.
16, 17, 18, 19, 20. That woman is like at a point in her life where she is.
Why you keep trying to put me in a box with Corey Holcomb's conversation? I understand exactly what he's doing. But people are going to examine it and they're going to say, oh, there's some truth to this. Once again, bro, I'm reacting. I'm not here making a documentary about the man. I'm reacting. Just enjoy the reaction, bro. I hope you're enjoying what you're watching. Damn, bro, shit. Now, I'm not going to keep stopping this shit for you, George. You're going to have to hit the Cash App or something, bro, if you want to just continue to, get me to read your comments, man. Damn.
Ripe, bro.
It's just nobody likes to say shit like,
No, they not at all. They not physically. They not biologically for bearing children. They not mentally. Like literally,
way,
you into kids, bro. It ain't.
If you want to support the channel by donating a small token, we just pinned a link for y'all if you like to support the channel. Appreciate it.
It ain't no other way to put it. You like kids, man. They not at all in any way. They are not, bro. Ain't like to try and say, like, let's take a woman who is genetically blessed, bro. Like, she fine, bro. She fine. She born that way. She's shaped that way by God. What is her peak body? Her peak body is in her 20s, naturally, right? Now, of course, these days, there's so many things you can do in terms of health and wellness to extend that into your 30s, even into your 40s. We see some celebrity women, they looking amazing even into their 40s. But if we just say you're not really thinking about that shit, you're not really trying, you're not really on top of your nutrition or your exercise, you just kind of letting your body do what it does as you go through life, all kind of unconsciously of health and wellness, your 20s. That's going to be when she her finest. What man is going to say she was better when she was 16, 17, 18, 19 than when she was 24, 25, 26, 27? That just don't make no fucking sense at all. And then mentally, of course, they are far more stimulating. They are far more interesting. They are far more, you know what I'm saying? They grown, you know what I mean? And then, of course, beyond that, fucking, we already looked at the science in regards to having children. If you're just looking at it strictly from a, like, sterile, biological, must continue the species point of view, she is in her prime, in her 20s. So what is this nigga talking about, bro? This nigga like kids, bro. There ain't nowhere else to put it. This nigga like kids, bro.
In America, because you can get in trouble for that. Now, I don't want no woman that's 16, 17, 18 because of the laws and because of the mental state she's in.
Epstein Island, that'd be a great movie.
Yeah.
What was happening on that?
Stop the cap.
And because of the mental state in America, because you can get in trouble for that. Now, I don't want no woman that's 16, 17, 18 because of the laws and because of the mental state she's in.
Notice. Notice what he prioritizes, the laws. He only tacks on the mental state. He don't even believe that. Because when he went over to Iceland, all of a sudden the mental state didn't matter. He wasn't too concerned about your mental state, right? No, he only tacks that on because he knows that there are people listening. He doesn't want to lose fans that would peg him as a weirdo, because essentially he would just be saying, oh, well, if it wasn't for the laws, I'd be running through these 16-year-olds, these 17-year-olds. Yeah.
Damn.
Epstein Island, that'd be a great movie.
Yeah.
What was happening on Epstein Island?
Why would it be a great movie?
So you, Corey, wish my baby happy 16th birthday. Hell, she ain't yours, so this is easy. She turning sweet 16 Saturday. Hey, what's up? Make sure. Hey, look, I don't know her name. Isabella. What is her name? Dita 605. Dita 605. Listen, I want to wish your daughter a happy birthday. Her sweet 16. It's a beautiful age, and you make sure you and your daughter have counseling so that if she's broke, cat daddies like me ain't in that by the time she's 21 through 30.
Yeah, I mean, bruh's definitely running a dark humor into the fucking ground. Running that shit into the ground. Jesus. Like, people gonna say, oh, yeah, man, he just see, if it becomes a part of your, like your everyday set, like, this is the set, this is the bit, the skit you're gonna go to every time you want to make someone laugh. Eventually, somebody's gonna say, bro, are you serious? I think that's what's taking place here with Corey, man. Like, at that point, bro, people gonna look at you and say, damn, bro, that's all you got to talk about is a 16-year-old, and when somebody becomes of age, like, damn, bro, why you even talking about them type of women? That's what's happening here, okay? The E-Files.
This nigga he gooned out, bro. This man is a gooner, bro, like a predator gooner. He can't, it's impossible.
You said, did someone say he violated or not? I don't think they did. I think people are just taking a look at what he's doing. When they're looking at his humor, when they're looking at his comedy, they're just examining and they're criticizing. They're, critiquing it. People have the right to criticize comedy. I mean, you go to a comedy show, you're going to get a couple of hecklers, especially if they're talking about some dark humor and they don't approve of dark humor. Once again, comedy used to be frowned upon. You couldn't even joke a certain way. You would definitely, I watched a whole series about it. It was like the comedy itself was something, The comedy was basically a white woman. She was a Jew, and she was like a house mother, and she started becoming she became a comic. She would go do clubs with one of the founding fathers of stand-up comedy. I forgot his name, like Lenny something. Forgot his name. The comic, the one that they call the founding father of comedy. You said that's the problem: defamation and libel, or defamation and libel. Yeah, people know how to get around those types of things, though. I think they're just saying allegedly at this point. Who will let their 84-year-old mom live alone anyway? What? 84-year-old mom live alone. I'm lost on that one. Sorry, pretty teens. I don't know what that means right there.
Possible for him to hear the phrase 16-year-old girl and not instantly make it sexual.
Because if you don't bring
Why is 16 a beautiful age? Why is 16 a beautiful age? You should ask him that.
up right, I'm gonna be with them on their birthday.
Yeah, he just
I was
pushing
at
the
the mall
limits.
with the little bro. We was in Victoria's Secret. Man, I'm sitting there at the counter. I'm like, what's up? She needs to get measured for a bra. She never been measured for a bra. And she want to have the right size on instead of the Walmart bras. And the lady was like, oh, that is so sweet. Is this your daughter? I said, I'm standing up in this little
Oh my God.
And it wasn't a laugh when I said that. It wasn't a laugh. The lady looked like, I was
Bro
like, I got a couple of dollars. I get to smash
wildin'.
look cute young girls like this that come from poverty. I'm standing up in her. Do you need a bra? My brother's daughter.
Now, see, that's just wild. And only at that point, you said defamation and libel. He the one saying these fucking things. Shit. He definitely the one out here spewing that type of shit on the internet. And then go say that's defamation. But that's not defamation. If that's his comedy set, I bet you he don't do no fucking comedy sets talking that crazy. I can almost guarantee it. He ain't going up there talking about having no relations with no 16-year-old girls, man. I can see that. I can see that right there, what you just text. Most definitely. Shout out to the chat. Salute to the chat, man. Appreciate y'all rocking out. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Let's keep going.
You know, and Corey, that's another reason why I don't fucking listen to this nigga no more, bro.
Yeah,
He loves to
wild,
talk
man.
about how he likes to go to the hood. He likes to go and find women who are poor, and which does what? It makes them vulnerable, right? When people they become desperate. And so he goes and he takes advantage of these women who are poor and young and innocent and say, hey, come with me and I'll put a little bit of money in your pocket and essentially, prostitute yourself for me. Thank you.
That's wild.
Was with a group of us. We were at the hotel because my mom was in town. D, was you there?
Yep, I brought the cake.
I know how to do babies.
It was super cute though.
Everybody was trying to get her attention, but she wouldn't do nothing but hug her daddy because she didn't know us like that.
It's true.
I didn't pay her no attention. I just kept looking away. But I talk, my voice carries, and she kept looking.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, what happened, D?
She went right to him. It was almost like,
I'm the one wasn't paying her no attention.
and everybody like this, what?
This nigga talking about having game on a baby, bro. It's like, I was playing hard to get with the baby. That's what made the baby come to me. He really does sexualize baby, like girls, bro, baby girls. He said the moment a baby is born, if it has a vagina, he starts to sexualize them.
Damn.
This nigga trying to run game on an infant.
Like,
You know what that told me?
He sound like he in fucking medieval times or some shit. That's what his comedy sounds like. It sounds like it's one of those, just previous times in the world when people would do shit like that, say things, crazy shit like that. That's pretty wild, Corey. I ain't never heard him talk like that. I done heard him talk from a standpoint of like, cause now, one of those clips definitely sounded like a newer clip, but I do hear him like, giving women a lot of smoke. And I think that's where a lot of people have an issue with him currently as well, because of the TMZ video that came out where he made it seem like he, provided a love tap allegedly. But I looked at it again and I was like, nah, bro, you was trying to prove a point. He was definitely trying to prove a point on that lady's face, man. That's just my opinion. And I'll say allegedly. Yeah, Corey, I think you kind of did it to yourself, bro. You done did it to yourself at this point. So let's see. This one. All right. This one is Joe Budden speaking about Corey Holcomb from the words of academics. All right. All these guys got, some strange shit going on currently. YouTube is like beef central. It's like people want to get it out. They gonna post it on YouTube. I've even been in a sector for so long that's just like full of beef, This shit is real, man. People all on here and just finding ways to express himself about some shit. And then we all want to talk about being united, man. It's going to take a miracle to unite all black people on one front the way we be approaching each other in conversation.
They got me feeling like I'm academics. Can't ride away.
Back $1 million and we're good. Like, we've bought off Axe, so we bought this off. Y'all would have like more to talk about, but not with Jay. It's all good. Anyway, let's get back to the Corey Holcomb thing. So Corey Holcomb, he's now trending again because
academics. You did say that you was taking money from Lil Baby as well. You did say that. You said you no longer wanted Lil Baby and Universal's money. Let's go.
Apparently, maybe I'll show the video. Trigger warning. This is Corey Holcomb. There's a video of him hitting a woman that came out, and is this video. So apparently he was denying this video really ever existed and denying that he ever touched this woman. But if you watch this video, you realize look like they're into an argument. This is Corey Holcomb. This is a woman, and apparently he steps up to her, and then
he stepped up on her. He definitely stepped up on her too.
And and then they get into a fight. Okay, so it looked like he put hands on her, and then there's people that look like defending her, and it turns into whatever. But he had said this was cap. He was, let me see if I could.
He definitely, somebody said he looks compromised. Oh yeah, he's being extorted. On top of that, when he spoke about TMZ, he said he was going to fight back or whatever. But like I said last week, he just went like all out on his video, and he was going at everybody he possibly could, whether it be a small mention, whether it be a larger mention. He was very, offended, and he was just talking, like just rambling about it, rambling about how everybody's targeting him, but not, taking a step back and say, hey man, this is just a crazy moment for me right now. Hopefully I still got the same people in my corner that's been in my corner, in order to get past this current altercation, this current situation in my life. I would be very grateful if I could keep those same people around me, opposed to him going at everyone who, besides Craig. I think Craig's probably the only person he had nothing to say about, He said, Craig, man, you in my corner, bro. And that's dope. He got somebody in your corner. Hopefully y'all are having a conversation behind the scene, and he may have expressed like, hey, bro, just make sure that you're not always, looking at everybody as your enemy, because some people aren't your enemy. Especially when you done said wild shit like that up on your platform and you still got the same two co-hosts. All right.
Christina Payne. Let me see if I can find. Let's see if I can see the denial.
Watching, laying up, letting it pop. I got a bitch out here lying on me, but I got a whole bunch of people saying she done the same thing to me.
Oh, wow.
Wait.
Not only do they say it, man, okay, look, it's a crazy broad out here. Which one? Let's just say the latest one.
Right.
Man, this bitch is at the courthouse lying like a motherfucker, but I'm finna go in here with all these motherfucking affidavits and witnesses showing who this bitch is. Bitch, you can't win in no court.
Somebody said Craig taking up for Corey is lame too. No accountability.
How's you a crazy bitch? Everything is justified once the motherfucking judge see who you are.
Okay. Ain't even no lights on. It's a sick motherfucker.
This bitch did nothing but leave a path of destruction through her whole back. And so he was jammed up. So they had to, do what they had to do to get her back. You can hire someone who can help you.
Think. And after they commented on him doing that, he responded back to Joe. And let me see. Yeah, he responded back to Joe like this. Hold on, let me find it. Sorry, chat.
Yeah, I think that was a talking point as well, George. You said, how could Joe speak up? And so Corey's going to make mention of that, right? At that point, it's just two men who fucking hit on women having dialogue, okay? Or having smoke for each other. They should be on some collective shit if they both, get down like that.
about bullshit.
All right. Well, thank you very much. I'm not going to take too long on this particular story, but as most know, that the Grammys just passed this weekend. They were here in L.A. Of course, Kendrick cleared out the whole house, and now he has surpassed Jay-Z by the most wins for a rapper. So yeah, congratulations.
Yeah. Come on, man.
And he was there, and he looked great. Kendrick looked really good.
He trying to give you that elderly box.
Oh, stop! Oh my God. I like his relationship with his wife. I like that.
It's wrinkled at the bottom. No, I'm just fucking.
Let's wrinkle.
Nah, Corey was talking mad shit to Darlene on that episode. I definitely caught the highlights. I didn't watch all of that at all. But the highlights look bad, yo. I swear they do.
At the bottom.
Your box.
What?
Okay. Oh, you ain't gonna hold it out?
Here we go.
Oh, don't worry. Motherfuckers want a piece of you that they like, but
see.
All right.
Yeah,
so
he was going.
I sat on where her breast was. I just gotta say.
Yeah, I seen somebody ask that question too. Why Corey didn't tell Craig to hold the shirt up? He low key bullied her, but she been taking shit from him for years. And then he gonna talk under her clothes on the channel like, bruh, just be going crazy.
Alex, I can't take this shit no more.
Man, he be going crazy, bro. Jesus. Like, I don't know if it's because she's like, man, he on bullshit. I know who he is. Or if it's because maybe she ain't got nowhere else to make content, but she has a YouTube channel. She definitely has a YouTube channel. Y'all go sub up to Darlene Ortiz. We're going to review her video right after this. This is not going to take too long.
No.
Do you know who I'm talking about? Fruit Booty Buttons? See, I never say their name.
Yeah.
As you should.
I got a name for them. Fruit Booty Buttons.
And she be taking up for the nigga too. Cause he said, I don't even say their name. She said, as you shouldn't. And then he turned right around and gave her the smoke, like on the video. All because she didn't hold up that damn shirt. Like, bro, you're not taking into consideration that she's a Latina. She's a Latin woman. You gonna make her hold up a shirt with black monkeys on it, or monkeys, not black, because black people aren't monkeys. But you're gonna have her hold up a shirt with monkeys on it. Let's see if we can get a picture of the shirt. We'll keep playing this while we get a picture of the shirt. I think they're gonna show the shirt. Hold on.
I know you.
And his crew. Fruit Booty Buttons is a serial woman beater. Fruit Booty Buttons is a serial woman beater. Was talking about how he sat. They said the girl said he sat on my stomach and made me have a miscarriage. You know what he said? I didn't sit. I sat on top of her titties or something. He said I sat on where her breast was. That's where I was sitting.
He had also asked her to put the shirt up on she was like, I'm putting the shirt on the whatchamacallit. He was like, hold the shirt up while I can talk or whatever. It says, hey, leave my woman alone, something like that. Let's see. Somebody put that shit up. For $55 too. Man, that's crazy. Hey, leave my family out of this. So it's like a black Mr. Potato Head with a couple apes on it, a couple chimpanzees on it. I don't know if that'll get my video taken down. I don't even want to put that shit up on my video. It's kind of wild to even witness. You can go look it up. Just look up the Corey Holcomb 5150 monkey shirt. Okay. Everybody's pro-black until it comes to dark-skinned black women. I think that dark-skinned black women do get the butt of a lot of monkey jokes, you know? And yes, you cannot say you're pro-black and then put some shit like that on display. That's just foolish. It's foul and it don't make sense, bro. Like, you have to do better at that point, my brother, you know? He said a snake shed its skin, but it's still a snake. That's the same shirt from the week prior. Yes, of course it is. Yes, it's the same shirt. Likes should match the views, guys. It damn sure should, man. We got 116 people watching. Let's get 22. Let's get 22 new subs, man. I really appreciate it. All right, let's keep going.
Oh, wow.
Fruit Booty Buttons, I know you ain't talking crazy about me, homie. I know you ain't talking crazy about.
See, man, and that's the crazy shit. It's like, that's the thing I've always said, like, men calling other men, you know, yag and all that type of shit. I think that that's something that women usually do. Men like to get into these calling men yags and shit now. It's like, bro, you gotta leave that up to the women. You shouldn't know if a man is that type of person. Only women should know those types of things. Or another man that's getting down like that with him, you know? Yeah, the last episode, I think, oh, you didn't go watch it? So you are familiar with his show. I think that a lot of people didn't want to hear what he had to say. I don't know if you wanted to hear what he had to say or not. That's just my perception on it, my opinion. I think that a lot of people had an issue with how he's approached content at this point. His jokes aren't even hitting, they saying. All right? Corey's blaming TMZ for he pushed the F out of that lady. He's not moving like a 50-plus-year-old man. He's not. I don't know what's going on in his life. I don't even know why he would disrespect his daughter the way he did. There's a lot of things that I'm questioning at this point with this guy. Like, bro, you have a very successful career. And yeah, you said you don't get down with the backdooria. You're not down with Hollywood. But, bro, you shouldn't mess up all of the things that you have built for yourself. Anything that a woman has said to you in front of other comics, because that's what it sounds. It sounded like the comics was battling with each other. And you took it very serious to step up in her face. Bro, that means, yes, there's no growth there. And they're saying Anton was correct in the way he approached your platform. Now all of the fighting and all that shit, hell no. But as far as like him challenging your talking points, it's kind of proven itself at this point that, yeah, man, anything that has to do with being intellectual or being more developed or more mature about a situation, you have failed that test, brother. Like I said, I'm not here to judge you for that, but I think that's what the internet is judging you for at this point. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not cool at this point. You know what I mean? Like, bro, you got to find another way to approach content. Because if somebody sees one little flaw in how you conduct yourself, which, once again, people are here to judge, people are here to put your behavior on display, it's going to affect, yes, exactly. Corey, he's failed the test, but now it's at a broad, it's like, you know how he done talked about Hollywood so much and backdooria. They say, all right, let's put this guy to a bigger test. All right, let's make sure he doesn't continue to talk that shit about us over here. There are unseen forces that always want that smoke. They always got something to do. They ain't got nothing but time on their hands. You know, that's how they look at it. So he knows that there's a group of people coming to him, and yet he still want to put this type of behavior on display. I think the one thing that didn't sit well with me the one time I did see with Corey, when I knew I was just like, nah, is when I heard him talking about his daughter. I'll say that. Okay? The hypocrisy is crazy. Go back and watch Corey and Zoe fall out. Was that the guy that used to be on the... I remember that situation, but I think that's when I became familiar with the 5150 show. But once again, I wasn't a familiar face watching his video, you know? Ashley Larry, I knew he fell off. Damn.
Me, homie. I mean, most of the time, all you guys who say what you say, I don't care what you say online. I expect you to talk about me. Yeah, Fruit Booty Buttons. They know who I'm talking about. Fruit Booty Buttons. That motherfucker say, I think he said I was a bitch-ass nigga or something. Yeah, I'll be a bitch-ass nigga online. Online, I'm a bitch-ass nigga. God, man. Man to man, I ain't no bitch-ass nigga, homie. But man to man, you a serial woman beater. Everybody do the homework on Fruit Booty Buttons and all of the women that have accused him of actually beating them up. Since you want some heat, since you couldn't leave me alone, Everybody do the research on Fruit Booty Buttons and see how he is a serial woman beater. Fruit Booty Buttons? Yeah. Yeah. You and your crew talk about that since y'all need subject matter, because y'all admit y'all watch me. I don't watch y'all. I just saw that. I saw that clip where y'all was talking crazy about me. I'm like, what? They talking crazy about me? This man jump on women. Do you think this is a lie? A lot of men who mess with men and women fight women. Is that a lie? It is my opinion that a lot of men who sleep with men and women fight women.
I mean, you said Jamal said he couldn't sit in a room with a real accomplished, proper speaking woman. You're referring to Corey and his co-host? Yeah, she lets that shit roll off her shoulder, but this guy, he's taking that shit extreme. Like, even saying he gonna get another bitch to do it and all that, that was like, damn, like you're calling her without calling her a bitch. You know, bro, definitely on some, he won't smoke, he won't war with everybody, you know. But yeah, a lot of people have noticed that he doesn't really approach Craig in that same manner. I don't know what that may be about, you know. I really don't know why he wouldn't say nothing to Craig like that. But then again, Craig's not saying nothing to him, so we have to take that into consideration, people. Him and Craig, they thick as thieves at this point, you know. They ain't really on all of that with each other. They don't want smoke with each other. They probably have conversation behind the scene. And they gonna continue to agree on this type of shit. And Anton already called him a yes man. There might be some truth to that. I mean, Craig might be at this point exactly what Anton called him, you know. And I damn sure ain't picking I ain't picking sides on that fight either. I ain't picking sides on this Joe Budden shit. We just reacting. Let's go.
If you let your girl hit you with a strap, then you got the right to hit her back.
You stupid. That's why, Craig, you my lifesaver, dog. You come with it on the real.
See that right?
Some people say, who is Fruit?
See that right
That's
there.
why, Craig, you my lifesaver, dog.
See, they making similar jokes and shit. Say, why black Americans love to fight each other so much? Motherfucker, is you black? Is you black, bro? Like, I was finna say some shit and I ain't even gonna say it now. I was about to say some shit. Y'all need to, if you not black and you making a comment like that, bro, then you ain't been watching the news. I'm gonna say that. No, he's for real. We need to do better. Damn, bro, it's just letters, man. I don't see no faces or nothing. Y'all be saying that type of shit. People come in your chat and say stuff like that. And I get it, man. And yeah, I will agree with that as a black man, you know? But yeah, you say don't address that. I ain't worried about that shit, man. It's one thing to, you know, as long as you're doing your part, wherever you at, just do your part. I think that's what we have to learn how to do, is that, you know, the man sitting to your right, sitting to your left, we have to learn how to, you know, build off conversation, help one another, the man closest to you, you know what I mean? If you're a black man. And then each one teach one. And we just keep that cycle going on. If we continue that cycle, then by all means, we'll be in a way better predicament at that point, you know? It's sad that we call this entertainment as black people can't have it both ways. Yeah, man. I think that once we start, you said, I can tell that you are also a part of the problem. Nah, because I don't go around starting shit with people. I think these are content creators. They're creating content. And a lot of times we want to put these people up on pedestals. All right. And I don't put these men on pedestals. I hope you don't either, you know. But at this point, if we're going to look at a man's behavior and judge him off of that, yeah, y'all trolling. Get out of here. Yeah, y'all just wanna. We ain't finna do that. And you ain't even got no face up there. We ain't even finna do that. Yeah, like I think, I see what you saying, Jamal, and at one point, and then who name is Leroy Samuel? Yeah, it's way worse shit going on out here as far as how, but the fact that the one thing I'll give Corey, the only thing I'll say about with Corey is that he didn't fight Anton on camera. Any other time that shit would have went off on camera. And I think he already had a situation like that on his show where two other guys had a situation. All right. But usually when guys come in here and they talk from a standpoint, you're part of the problem. No, I'm not. I'm not really bothered by that because I know outside of the internet, I don't go around starting shit with black men. So that's the shit you're referring to. I don't go around doing it. So I'm comfortable knowing that I don't go around starting shit with black men. If anything, I uplift black men. And I'm one of the people, yeah, right, he lost 20 bands, right. And I'm one of the people that I'll go in and I'll talk to young black men. I've spoken to young black men. It's documented. And it might have not been about this subject in particular, but I'm always spreading free game to young black men. So when you say shit like that, it's just because you're either miserable or you're some kind of agent or you're a part of the problem. But me, myself, nah, man. We do this shit in real life. We talking on the internet and we talking about some grown-ass 50-year-old men way older than me. All right? So let's keep going, man. Now come in here talking that stupid shit again, I will boot your ass up out of here as well.
If a girl hits you with a strap, then you got the right to hit her back.
You stupid. That's why, Craig, you my lifesaver, dog. You come with it. You come with it on the real.
If you take a dick.
Some people say, who is Fruit Booty Buttons? Look in the, I can't say it.
The chat is
Look in the chats know who I'm talking about. Him and his crew.
These motherfuckers already bought and paid for. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I know. Shout out to you, Jamal. Straight up. Yes, Miss Sago, exactly. Our shit is way highlighted. It's highlighted way more. And people won't even talk to the young black boys in their communities. They talk that shit. They won't even go. They won't even walk up on the YNs that they, the alleged YNs. They got new words for young black men. All right. They calling them young niggas. YNs. It's once again, it was hijacked just like the word woke. All right. But they afraid to talk to them guys. I'm not afraid to talk to them guys. I grew up around those type of guys, and I'm still currently around those type of guys. I am not exempt of my ways and my actions. But one thing I don't do is going around. I would never put this on display and agree with it with a young black man. I would say, no, bro. We have to find other ways to resolve shit. But as far as entertainment, at this point, that's because that's exactly what it is. And we don't know what type of men these men are behind the scenes. Besides all of the other shit Corey was saying. Once again, that shit is foul. It's one of those things that he should not use as dark humor, talking about interactions with teenage girls, young aged girls and shit like that. I don't find anything funny about that. I have a young daughter. No grown ass man would never attempt to date my daughter. That would be smoke. Okay. Smoke and fire and brimstone, all that shit. I'm taking you straight to hell. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, let's keep going.
Talking about me, calling me out my name. I know y'all ain't talking about my name, boy. What Nas say? You stay on my dick. You love my style. Y'all come with ideas for y'all show by watching me.
I didn't know he said something, man.
Man, them motherfuckers be talking cash money.
All you gotta do is call Method Man. You know, he's scared of Method Man.
Who is?
Have
you ever seen Method Man up close?
Method Man is a savage.
Method Man is a big motherfucker, dog.
Yeah, but he was.
Fruit Booty Buttons is a serial woman beater.
You know who else?
Now explain that this week.
You know who else?
K-Cash,
beat up on women?
Who?
Brittany Griner. Brittany Griner beat.
All right. Well, Joe responded rather quickly. And I'll post Joe responded here. Check this out.
Fight well enough to do this with me.
You can't even put Joe's shit up on the you can't put his shit up on the internet. That shit will get. I'm assuming he's one of those guys that'll take his shit down. But let's just play it and then.
Like, we have video with you. You're not smart enough, strong enough. Corey Holcomb, you don't fight well enough to do this with me. Like, we have video with you. You're not smart enough, strong enough, big enough, fast enough to do none of this you're talking about with me. We saw you with the homie Anton. He asked you to walk outside, and you remained stationary, Corey Holcomb. Please keep my name out of your mouth, and don't take anything I'm saying as, like, a threat to you. I wouldn't plan on doing nothing when I see you. Actually, if I saw you and we were breathing the same airspace, I would take it as a threat to me, a threat from God, a threat from life that we even in the same fucking circumference, nigga. Corey Holcomb.
George, what the hell is you talking about? What you said? I would sing, and I'll bet you sing along, bro. Listen to the lyrics. What? That's a little before my time. I know who Belle Biv DeVoe is, though. Yes, I do know who Belle Biv DeVoe is. They were once called, or they're particulars from the New Edition group, right?
Holcomb, your fall from disgrace has been one that should be studied, from kind of funny to kind of bummy to I'm just the dummy. You over there struggling. You look a sandwich away from welfare. You dusty dog shit in the face looking motherfucker, boy. Corey Holcomb, I can't believe that you are engaging this way when you fight that way. Honestly, it's over. You over there just lonely and poor. Your co-host look bad. Not the woman. I'm not talking about her. Everything over there look bad. I know you down bad because you on a Costco table podding in front of a fake plant that appears to be dying. You failed at fatherhood. You hate yourself. You hate your daughter. Your daughter hates you. You failed at fatherhood, finances. You failed at funny. Your pod sucks. You failed at fodder. You just a failure all around the board. And don't forget the original point. You don't fight well enough to do none of this with nobody. So prayers up to Corey Holcomb. We're not going to go back and forth in an exchange because I just don't feel the need to do that with you. I was just shocked to see that you still had a voice over there. Damn. Should have done it with either beat.
Yeah, he could.
Who y'all got? I know you guys love 5150. Joe's my guy. I'm going to be honest with you. I'll score it as this. Joseph, I didn't know you still had this in you, brother.
All right, that's enough. So that was Joe Budden. Yeah, Joe ain't playing. Joe definitely has some very choice words for Corey Holcomb. Yeah, see, Corey Holcomb is content at this point. He's where all of the content creators are going to get, their numbers, He done crashed out. At this point, the man done crashed out. See new police reports. See now, police reports, court appearances. All this is finna come back on Joe. I do agree with that, George. Yeah. That's why you hear a nigga like asking, who you got? Who you got on this one? Because we know they finna do the paperwork game. Once again, man, YouTube beef, it's just like, this is like in all sectors of YouTube, except for the ones that compete behind the scenes, like those accounts who've got millions and millions of subs. And, they battle it out a different way, almost like a dance battle. This is almost like a gang war when we do content against each other, because we want to compete to the full extent. Like, we want to hurt each other. That's how we compete. And see, that's the thing that black men should stop doing, where they don't know how to compete without wanting to take each other down. Okay. Now, if you are a sick individual, then you should not have a voice. Plain and simple. If you're a sick motherfucker, you should not have a voice. How about that? I will stand behind that when I say that, or stand in front of that, excuse me. If you're a sick individual Just like all that shit we just watched about Corey Holcomb. If that's your character in real life, then no, bro, you should not have a platform. At this point, I think people are looking to get your platform taken down off of YouTube. You've already mentioned that you're losing out on gigs and shows. That shit's pissing him off. He's crashing out. And it just gets worse, you know. But now we do have a video about the Darlene situation. So we're going to play that. Let's keep going, man. This is, you know. Corey even said something about this guy. So now we're going to watch this. I'm pretty sure y'all might be familiar with it as well. This is my reaction. Let's go.
Ever since the Anton Daniels Corey Holcomb fallout, I was the person that basically said it was important for Corey Holcomb to not come back to the 5150
What's up, Miss Ann?
show.
How you doing?
Especially with that footage of Corey Holcomb pushing Christina Payne.
Shout out to you, Miss Ann. Appreciate you pulling up. Yeah, this Corey Holcomb thing will continue to get more and more filthy. We got 123 people watching. Man, let's get the 19 subs, bro. Y'all are I got the subscriber thing right up there at the top, and people just looking at it. Hit the subscribe button, man. If you enjoy what you're watching, because it's kind of like been like this for a while for me at this point on the channel. Hit the subscribe button. All right? Turn your notification bell on. Okay?
Copacetic, cool, calm, and collected. And I don't do detectives, I'm overprotected.
In the face. Number one, basically, you look at the footage, it's very difficult to take Corey Holcomb's perspective or side of the story when it looks like he stepped forward to the lady and she did not step towards him. She was talking trash, no doubt, but it's just hard to defend him from that position. But also with TMZ and Harvey Levin and everybody else making content about Corey Holcomb and trying to tarnish his name and image, I just thought that it would have been a really good opportunity for him to maybe shut down the show for a few weeks just to, you know, let things die down so that he wouldn't want to make a mistake or lie. This is an important thing about live shows or live streams. If you think about the Corey Holcomb 5150 show or the Fresh and Fit podcast or even Anton Daniels Live, when you're live and you're saying whatever you feel, you can't take it back. And it opens you to make many different mistakes, which is exactly what happened the following week after that. Corey Holcomb would make fun of Anton Daniels' daughter and roast her, who is underage. And then the next week, he would come out with this particular t-shirt. And he actually made it for sale. But
oh, yeah, that got a t-shirt. Okay. And I know people already seen that shirt. That shirt is crazy. It's a jacked up shirt, man. Yeah. Because see now, like they said, you can't be pro-black and you got a shirt like this, man, you know. And you can't just say, oh, I'm speaking about one man in particular, that his family looks like monkeys. Nah, bro, it just doesn't look good. It looks pretty hideous, okay? It looks hideous. And yes, all of your pro-black supporters will take offense to this because remember, they're attempting to prove that black people came from Australopithecus, okay? So that's another reason why people are taking offense to it. Right? Let's go.
Particular t-shirt, and he actually made it for sale. But I want you, when you're looking at this, to notice the expression of Darlene Ortiz, better known as D, in the clip.
This is dedicated to you, Lane.
I want to give a shout out to Craig and Darlene because, you know, I don't think that they feel comfortable with what Corey Holcomb is doing.
She said, hell no, I ain't lifting that shirt up. She like, bro, you trying to get me canceled. We know you on the verge of being canceled or already canceled or whatever the hell you got going on, Corey. See, this is when she should have, I think this is when you have to hold someone accountable. You know, in front of everybody. At that point, we got to get some shit straight. We got to get some straightening. At that point, there should have been something said about this fucking shirt. Hey, man, you do realize I'm Spanish, right? Or Latin. You do realize I'm Latin, right? I can't just hold some shit up like that. People are going to take that completely wrong, right?
You know that somebody isn't comfortable, typically what you do is you just kind of leave it alone. But this is not what Corey Holcomb did. In fact, he would double down, making the shirt for sale. And then it became a point where Corey Holcomb actually did this on the show.
Ain't this a shirt, D? You gonna hold it up, D?
No, you can't. That's all you, brother.
Oh, you ain't gonna.
That's all you, brother. No, I'm not doing that one. That's all you, brother. And he gonna take offense to that. Like, how the hell you gonna take offense to that, bro? Like, you already know, and maybe, see, this is where his intellectual property kicks in, right? Like, bro, it's a fucking monkey shirt. That's, you almost like the goddamn racist that oppress other, groups all the time. You worse as them. Uh-huh. Like, shit, bro. Like, golly.
Hold it up.
Well,
You ain't. And when I hold it up, I can't say my shit with the mic. You ain't gonna hold it up.
Your mic.
Oh, don't worry about it. No.
See, look, he at that point, he's like, oh, she's taking their side on this one. She's offended. She's like, oh, she gonna take their sides on this shit? Oh, she ain't got my back no more. Bro, she done been up there for so many of your fucking... How many stunts you done pulled up on this channel, bro, and she done been sitting right there and ain't say nothing? That's crazy, man. That's crazy. We're gonna keep going. Let's go.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
So if you see what is going on, he is basically asking Darlene to hold up this shirt. Darlene doesn't want to hold up the shirt. It's obvious, right? She feels very uncomfortable. Now, Corey Holcomb, in my honest opinion, not really being fair to her, is visibly upset that she doesn't want to hold up the shirt, okay? And then the conversation would continue.
I'll show that shirt next week.
Oh, wow. Look at this one.
No, I'll get somebody to hold it up.
Look at this one.
I'll get somebody to hold it up.
Look at this. I'm finishing it. Look
What time is it? We ain't got enough time.
And look what I was doing.
If we had enough time, I'll get somebody to come hold it up right now.
Look how he's... But you see what I was
That
doing right now?
nigga is crazy.
Oh, it's all good. Don't matter. I'll get somebody to hold it up.
Here we
Mom want a piece of you that they like, but they don't want the whole thing.
Did I just not say...
I'll get somebody to hold this shirt up next week.
Very immature, bro. Corey, bro. That was very immature of you, man. And yeah, you should definitely take a step back. You should have took a step back at that moment in time and tried to understand where she was coming from with that point, bro. It would have benefited you tremendously because people aren't going to look at it the way you're looking at it. We understand that you feel like you're being attacked and people are attempting to blackmail you. Well, all types of shit, whatever words he want to use. Or attempting to destroy his platform and, fuck up his real life, messing up his shows, his money, etc. But you can't go at the people that support you, bro. It just wouldn't make sense. It doesn't make for good judgment, okay? Because how many times has she stood?
So it seems here, like he's saying to her.
How many times has she stood by? Yeah, let me shut up. That shit went on by itself.
You don't want to hold it up? Oh, don't worry about it. I'll find somebody else to hold it up. Because you know what? You want to deal with whatever parts of me that you want to deal with, but you don't want to deal with everything with me. Now, stop the show. Now, here's the part that Corey Holcomb just don't understand. All right. With his way of thinking, I'm not trying to be, rude because I understand the brother's going through a lot. There are things that a person can do.
He said somebody says, finally someone who can see through Corey bullshit. Hit the like button. Shout out to High Priestess Akasha, I'm assuming. Funk Doctor. And then Shania Arts. I mean, he did blatantly hit the woman in the face and Darlene been there for him. He bogus. My point exactly. Uh-huh. Like, bro, these people done been around for all of your dark ass humor that we just put on display for everyone to watch. You've been over there kicking some dark ass humor, Corey. Straight up, bro. Like I said, I'm not gonna judge you because I know I ain't no perfect individual. But all of the dark humor, all of the targeting your co-host, you said something about her libias, bro. Like, is that what they call ladies? You said something about the woman's lips. Then you want her to hold up this monkey shirt that she shouldn't have no partaking in. She was the person telling you to calm down when you and Anton was doing that weak ass shit. She was the person over there like, hey, calm down. I don't know exactly what she said, but I think people said something to the extent of, You know, think about, you know, your money or whatever, or think about a lawsuit or whatever the case may have been. And now, you know, you're just continuing to, I got this. Nah, bro, you ain't got it, brother. You ain't got it. You should listen to people like that. I don't know what type of woman she is, in, you know, outside of this platform, your platform. But damn it, she's been beside you the whole damn time, bro.
That you just cannot rock with. It doesn't mean that you're not supportive. And Darlene, in my honest opinion, Darlene Ortiz, she's been loyal to Corey. You know, there's times I see as of late that she doesn't feel comfortable as she used to being on the show. I mean, obviously the show is very mic heavy. And then I think the last 1 to 2 years, the show has really repeating the same kind of talking points, kind of, you know, Corey kind of trashing modern relationships. And then every now and again, he'll roast somebody and it's real funny. But as a context, it's kind of just Corey talking about whatever he wants to talk about and them kind of popping in, not having a free conversation. That
I've been trying to get to 2,000 subs for weeks now. We got 120, 114 people watching. Let's get 16 subs in here, man. Come on now. Let's hit that marker.
Will probably want to hear. But ultimately, Darlene does not want to get involved with holding up that shirt. Number one, he's referring to Anton Daniels' wife and daughters as primates. And you know, Darlene Ortiz is Hispanic. So this is something that we got to understand. Even though she got a baby by Ice-T, her holding up that shirt is her basically playing into white supremacist narratives. All right. This is important to know. If Darlene holds up the shirt that Corey wants her to hold up, she's a Latina woman in the black community making fun of black women, okay, on the behalf or at the behest of a black man. Now, Darlene Ortiz, who is, I would say, she loves the black community. You know, she's cool. She don't want to disrespect black women like that, and she don't want to disrespect black people like that. And obviously, just because Corey Holcomb has a beef with Anton Daniels and his family, it doesn't mean that she needs to have that same beef. Because obviously, in my opinion, once Corey Holcomb roasted Anton's daughter, it was overboard, but the beef was dead. Anton didn't want any more smoke. All right. He was just finished. He overplayed his leverage. He found out that, you know, going against Corey Holcomb wasn't a smart idea. And so he stopped. But Corey kept going on. But then, as you guys know, after the show, there's typically like a little rap that they do. Darlene doesn't really participate in this, but Corey Holcomb would do something that, in my honest opinion, I thought was questionable at best.
And now it's about to turn this mother out. If you don't want to do it, get another to do it. If you don't want to do it, get another to do it. If you don't want to do it, get another to do it. 50 in the house.
So he starts off by saying, if you don't want to do it, get another B to do it. If you don't want to do it, get another B to do it. So basically, this is the same iteration he was given early on in the show, that if Darlene didn't want to do it, get another B to do it. So it could be implied, is he referring her to as a...
This is why women, they take certain shit and they flip it on the guys, man. The guys be thinking they got one up on the women, man. Men gotta watch how they be approaching this shit. They be thinking they got shit figured out, man. And then it's some kind of backlash. So, you know, Corey thought he had the upper hand on this situation with the with the TMZ clip. That shit backfired on him. All right. He done lost out on money on that. He done said this shit about if you don't want to do it, get another bitch to do it. That shit done backfired on him. Like, I think sometimes we don't be, I ain't saying women smarter than us at all. I'm not saying that by far. What I'm saying is that we have to be a little more steps ahead of the game when it come to how we approaching women. And on top of that, bro, you can't just be bashing women, right? Eventually, them women gonna have something to say. They're gonna speak up, all right? And she can turn around and say that you've been verbally abusing her for a very long time. All right. I'm not giving her any pointers or nothing like that, but she could definitely aim it that way. You know, once again, that comedy is going to be one of those things that people are going to look at and they're still going to question your comedy. They're still going to want to know why you would make this type of dark humor. You know, why do you think that everyone would accept that? That woman can definitely turn around and say, you know, he's been verbally abusive to me. And I've just been accepting it. I've been accepting it. And damn it, I don't want to accept it any longer. All right.
B herself, but get another B. If it's another B, then that implies that she's a B. I mean, you must think like that. And again, somebody could say, all right, O'Shea, well, you're just clout chasing all of this. Well, I want you to see what the people are saying who are fans. This person says, I stopped watching 50-50 back in 2023 because of Corey's monotony of subject premise. I only peeped in to see what the Anton Dance situation was about. He talks about the same stuff over and over and over again. All right, that's one criticism. One person goes this. What's going on with Corey? Sometimes it pays to shut the F up. I guess he wants a few more enemies. Corey Holcomb does not move like a brother from the streets. He's too old to be acting like he does. Here's somebody criticizing him, right? But let's kind of get into this. Paul. And this is a guy that doesn't even like me. Corey, this is now embarrassing. Please, if you're a friend of Corey, please tell him to stop. Let it go, Corey. This is what, obviously, I was saying. Then you get D is fed up. It wasn't too much the hat. That's all you, brother. It was why I got to hold it up. That really let it be known. She really feels. Then she tries to start explaining LMLD. There was no need for all that. You had to say, was give me a few seconds. I'm putting up the prices now. Then also, this person goes, I've been following Corey since my early 20s, almost 15 years. I've been around since the foxhole. It's coming to a point where this ish is lame. This person goes, Corey going out bad. Craig is a fool to keep sticking by him. This other person goes, Corey burned the bridge after bridge after bridge, only to have to apologize for a misunderstanding. Corey quick to say he don't need nobody to MNF that has been here for 16 years straight. He don't ever want to hear the reason behind the no. Corey, I typically support you, but you're going to put yourself on an island all by yourself. I hope you can humble yourself soon, buddy boy. To me, it says disappointed to see Corey talk to D like that, shaking my head. Darlene should stay away from this dude. Craig needs to get away from this dude. He's weak, fake, and snitching ass.
Appreciate that, buddy boy. Appreciate you subscribing to the channel. Appreciate that. Appreciate that.
That's lame.
Let's get 14 more subs, people.
Corey, have some sense. D is the real foundation you're standing on when it comes to 5150 and trust. You can find anything you want in the world, but loyalty and someone who can be close to you and that can be trusted are the true prizes of wealth. Country girl says, D, how many times you gonna let Corey disrespect you? Leave that man for good. But the guy goes, Corey got a lot of whole ways. Like I said, Corey Holcomb and his attitude toward this whole thing, in my opinion, you're gonna have people that's rocking with the 5150 show. But it's like, even if you're not criticizing him and you're not doing exactly what he wants you to do, he still got a problem with it. So if you can't support him in whatever you disagree with, he got a problem with that, and he don't have no problem disrespecting. Then the issue is the man acts as if, you know, other people are wrong for having an opinion on this. And like I said, Corey shouldn't have never came back to the show for his own benefit. Not because I was saying he should do this, because he should do this. But now it's like, all right, you have a situation with Christina Payne and Anton Daniels' daughter and wife, right? If you didn't come back after the Christina Payne mushing incident, then okay, that never happens. Then D, who is a lady on your podcast that you know calls another B to do it. You know, you're just having all these problems and these crash outs, which honestly, in the court of public opinion, is not making him look very strong. And again, this was the reason why I leveraged against that in the beginning. Like, bruh, chill. Don't give them no more ammunition than they need. And what did he do? Giving the enemies the ammunition that they need. But hey, I mean, I'm just an African scammer that don't get his hair cut but twice a year. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy Shady Jackson back at again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I appreciate you for you. Just the bell. We're out.
All right. Shout out to O'Shea Duke Jackson for that video right there. All right, this is the other one I have right here. So this is Darlene Ortiz. I'm not sure if y'all have seen this video. Darlene Ortiz has a video called Misplaced Anger. All right. Misplaced Anger. Darlene Ortiz. Fair use. Let's keep it going.
So let's talk about something called misplaced or displaced anger. This is when someone is genuinely angry or hurt about something or something.
See, I think that she's taking a moment for herself to say, hey, I know how to approach a situation, you know, and you know, I know how to get my get back, basically. Everybody thinks that you're up here abusing me, talking shit to me, treating me very horribly. Once again, we don't know their relationship, or at least I don't know their relationship. And this is my way of speaking without speaking. I'm not going to, you know, point fingers or anything, because once again, that's being judgmental. And it's not very cool to judge people, especially when we all got our own shit to deal with, you know, so.
One, but instead of directing that anger at the real source, they unconsciously aim it somewhere safer, easier, or less risky. For example, right? Someone might feel powerless, rejected, or disrespected by a boss or a coworker, a partner, children, or even life itself. But they don't feel safe expressing that anger there, so it leaks out all over the place toward loved ones, strangers, or even themselves. The anger is real, the pain is real, but the direction is off. Understanding this helps us stop taking everything personally, and it also helps us ask better questions. Like, what is this really about? Or what might be underneath this reaction? It doesn't excuse harmful behavior, but it does explain it. And that awareness gives us more emotional clarity, healthier boundaries, and a lot more compassion for ourselves and others. Here's what it often looks like.
Well, that's because Jamal, I seen your comment, and shout out to that. You said, "I hate we don't support each other like other groups or races." Well, once again, man, that's all by design. You know, it's all based on people assuming that we're the enemy. All right, we're supposed to fight each other at all times. Mike Epps had a very good concept about this, and a lot of people have said it as well. You know, it's just like guys going over to Africa building schools, but why haven't they built schools in America? Why can't black men build schools in America? There's a good reason. There's an interesting reason behind that, you know. And I was even talking about the situation with what's his name, Dr. Umar Johnson. Well, I'm not really sure if he is a scammer. People said he is one. But what I do understand is that Richard Pryor said it. Mike Epps said it. And then you hear people talk, even with LeBron James' school, they said, "Oh, his school is failing," right? Or the grade, the test scores were low, from my understanding from a video I had watched. Well, that's all by design, man. I think that I don't think we aren't the only group. We're not the only group, but we're the only group on display. In public, you're going to see it happening. With other groups, it's behind the scenes. They know how to get through things and not display it in public. You know, it's just like white kids listening to rap. It's the same thing, all right? They give us rap, but then when their kids start emulating rap, they don't appreciate it. They think that it's bad for their culture. It's the same difference. Okay, this is why you see so many of us battling it out on the internet. It's very profitable. And then on top of that, it does something to our culture. It doesn't do anything to their cultures. That's why they come over here and talk shit. Oh, black people need to stop doing all this and all that. Yeah, because they know that we've been paid substantially. Not me per se. I haven't been paid. But a lot of people get paid to talk down about this community of ours. It's by design, people. All right. And people will say that's not true. Well, you are seeing more and more of other cultures coming out and expressing themselves about a situation where they're all on board with it. It's like if they're all on board with it, they'll say it. But when they're not all on board with it and it's just small case by case, no, they're not going to put that on display. And, you know, that's still happening today. But yeah, when you see other people saying, hey, we don't want our kids listening to hip hop, why you think they saying that? They know that that's a controlled opposition. Let's keep going.
Looks like snapping at a loved one after a bad day with the boss or at work, being irritated at strangers when you're actually grieving, you're hurt or scared, getting angry about small things when something big is unresolved elsewhere, or criticizing others for traits that actually mirror our own pain or insecurity. We're all carrying more than people realize, and most of us are doing the best we can with what we were taught or not taught, right? A little awareness goes a long way, so be gentle with yourself and mindful with others. When someone is consistently dissatisfied about things like cleanliness, routines, or not getting their way, the issue usually isn't the surface complaint. What's often underneath is a need for control when they feel powerless somewhere else, chronic frustration, resentment, or entitlement, anxiety that shows up as rigidity, emotional immaturity or poor coping skills, a belief that their discomfort is other people's responsibility. So instead of managing their own feelings, they offload them onto people around them. Now here's why understanding it matters. Because when you recognize displaced anger, you stop taking things personally that aren't actually about you. You can pause and ask, what is this really about? You gain more compassion for yourself and for others without excusing harmful behavior. So if this message helped you understand someone else better, great. If it helped you understand yourself better, even greater. Just remember, empathy doesn't require self-sacrifice, and understanding doesn't mean tolerating behavior that harms you. You're allowed to be compassionate and protected.
All right. I think that it said it is wise to direct your anger towards problems, not people, to focus your energies on answers, not excuses. So she found a very educated way to express herself. Once again, she understands that she's not going to fight in front of everyone. You know, even though she did say something. She said, "Hey, I'm not holding that shirt up." And hopefully we get to see her, you know, this week. I'm not going to say hopefully in that case of that I'm going to watch Corey. But, you know, it's never cool to see someone lose their job, especially in public. That'll be, I think that's a lawsuit as well, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong about that. I don't know. But, yeah, man. Other than that, I think that's about it, y'all. That's all I got for today. We done did 2 hours. We tried to reach a $5 goal, you know. Other than that, it's your boy L Boogie Reacts, man. We up out of here. Hug your loved ones. Tomorrow's never promised, people. And until next time, we up out of here, man. Salute, 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 salute. Yeah, yeah.
Copacetic, cool, calm, and collected. And I don't do detectives, I'm overprotected. Copacetic, cool, calm, and collected. And I